Game 2 of the final match of the evening of the semifinals of the KSK Invitational. Spawning in the top right-hand side of the map is the blue Terran, ZachThRipper. And his opponent, spawning in the bottom left-hand side of the map at the 7 o'clock position, is the red Zerg, TopHatMan. So a really good game out of TopHatMan in the first. We're sending an early scout here. This is really early scout. He wants to clearly identify what his opponent's doing. Normally you see these scouts being sent out at the 17 supply mark, and you can just see that he opted for a fast expand, so it was really early. I think he just wanted to get into the base before the other supply depot went up. He may die it when it goes right here. May not been the best rally point. Maybe may get trapped in there. Oh no, it doesn't. There you go. Makes his way around. Micro's out a little bit. Wow, that is just like, what is the APM? Oh my god, 300 APM. Oh my god, micro intense. Jesus Christ, that's so funny. His opponent, sorry, not his opponent, TopHatMan back home has gotten his spawning pool down. Has started that second hatch. It's nearly finished. ZachThRipper is going for a pretty standard gas first opening. He's getting a few Marines. He's going to an orbital command. He didn't fast expand though, and that could actually prove fatal. Oh, who got the kill? Oh, the Marine snaked the kill away from that SCV. What a dick. Alright. Second barracks going down here for ZachThRipper. TopHatMan is getting a few queens. He wants those larva injects. So crucial to have a good, healthy larva count as a Zerg player. Now, this map does have many different opportunities. We saw throughout the day a lot of different opportunities for Nidus canals, big, nice open areas. You can see Mutalisk run-bys. But from what we've seen out of ZachThRipper, he's an early aggressive type of guy. We've never really seen his mid-game, so we don't know how well it is. We'll see if ZachThRipper can be able to hold that off. Again, ZachThRipper is going up the tech tree fairly quickly. He's dropping a third barracks. He's dropping a factory. No engineering bays. Finally getting his pocket natural. And is keeping up with the worker count, which is pretty decent. Speed coming out here for ZachThRipper, as well as a single spine crawler. This defensive spine crawler is actually a little interesting. He didn't use that in the first game. He may just be thinking that there's going to be a bit of a rush on himself this game. This slow little Zergling is going to hop his way across the map here. What a cute little guy, eh? Well, he'll rip your face off, but you know. They're actually gigantic. That's the funny thing. These things are like the size of dire wolves. He is going to swap out his factory onto the tech lab here, so he's going to be starting to produce a few tanks, and this barracks is going to make tech lab as well. Not going to be able to take out the Marine. No, sorry, take out that Zergling now. I wonder if he actually saw anything. Yes, he was able to see the factory with the tech lab, so that's going to tell him the tanks are on the way. Let's see how he reacts to this. He's going to work his way up to layer tech. This layer is almost complete. I wonder what that's going to mean, if he's going to go with Spire, whether he's going to go with a Hydralisk den. You know, we haven't seen TopHatMan do Spore Crawlers. And, but Spore Crawlers sieging this position would actually work out fairly well. Now, just as a Terran player, I just want to make a note. This is an excellent position for the tank. The issue with this is this guy should be over 1 square, so you're not going to be able to get the surround with the Zerglings. Pinching in your buildings a little bit more is a little bit better for when you want to put your tank in this position on this map. Combat shields are being researched before stim. That's actually very interesting. Now, TopHatMan is sitting on a ridiculous bank right now. I wonder what he's going to try to do here. Spire is coming out of the back of the natural. Now that's interesting. So he's going to probably go for Mutalisk. He is banking a ton of gas right now. scan goes down, sees there's no third base. It probably wasn't the best scan. He wanted a scan to find out the tech, but... Okay, so he's getting another refinery. Not a refinery, sorry. Extractor, right? Yeah, that's what it's called. He's getting a lot of gas, so he wants to get his gas up. Now that Spire has completed. We'll see if he starts production on any sort of air units. Yes, right there. 6 Mutalisks have already started to spawn out of the eggs. Now let's see what he has for anti-air. I do not know. We see an engineering bay and a few idle workers, but I don't see missile turret anywhere. I don't see any anti-air other than the single Viking. This is a decent amount of Mutalisks to prevent... Or sorry, a decent amount of Marines to prevent a Mutalist attack. But they need to be in position. And without stim to actually get there on time... I don't know. Not looking all too good. Yeah, no stim so far for these Marines. Ooh, here come the Mutalisks fly by. Now, we'll see if he decides... He probably will go to the natural. Just because that is probably the better course of action. I wish these maps had destructible rocks right there. Ooh, yeah, no anti-air. He takes out these Marines here. The other army is really far away. He's going to be able to take out a whole bunch of workers right now. Yeah, no anti-air whatsoever. There's a 1 Viking in here. Ooh, this is looking pretty good for TopHatMan. He's going to keep the attack going, and this is the right thing to do with Mutalisks against Terran. Terran, if they don't decide to not to go with stim, they have that low mobility. TopHatMan, ZachThRipper is not producing any units right now. He's not producing anything. All his barracks are just completely empty. He's sitting on a pretty decent mineral supply, but he's just not building anything right now. And he finally does push the Mutalisks out of his base, but not before he loses 9 workers. Now that's a big loss for ZachThRipper. You know, you're already down 1 game. You're trying to get up against your opponent. You want this second win, and you're losing workers to Mutalisk run-bys. You just can't let that happen. You got to be on top of that sort of stuff. He is dropping a few. Oh, here come the Mutalisk run-by again. Let's see if he takes out. He's targeting down the tech lab on the reactor. You do not want to go up against that many Marines, that's for sure. Ooh. Yeah, I think that that's going to push the Mutalisks out of play. They're not going to try to poke in there on the mineral line anymore. Good job by ZachThRipper to prevent that from dealing more damage than it needed to. Third base for TopHatMan at the front of his natural. A few workers being transferred back over to the main base. ZachThRipper, though, is going to want to start to think about starting to expand at some point. This is a lot of roaches. Luckily, ZachThRipper is not overreacting to seeing the Mutalisks. He's not overproducing Vikings. He's sticking with Marine bio with tank support. And that's the right thing to do, I guess. It's definitely the right thing to do, not I guess. It's the correct course of action. You do not want to overinvest into something like Vikings when you know that there could be a ground army coming across. Well, that's a lot of Ravagers. These tanks are going to have a very difficult time taking these out. The Marines have got to get on top of this. The tanks have got to focus down the roaches so the Marines can get through and take out these Ravagers. But these Ravagers are going to want to take out every single tank here. Now, there's only 1 tank on the low ground, 1 tank on the high ground. This tank on the high ground does not have a very good distance. Ooh. Good corrosive biles there. The Marines do get on top of the... No, it's not going to be enough, though. Ooh, they are stuck on the ramp right now. Both of these tanks are doing a massive amount of damage. They take out the bio, but they're just clumping up right now. The tanks are making quick work of these Ravagers. I like the addition of the medevacs here, just to heal up, able to lift off and drop the siege tanks. Right now, though, no tech switch. This CC is not doing much of anything. He's going to try to wait. These Ravagers are going to heal up a little bit. No, he's not going to go out there. More roaches are moving across the map. Really great creep spread here from TopHatMan. He's really getting vision on the map. He wants to see where any sort of he knows that he's going up against Bio. He wants to see if Bio's on the map. These 5 Mutalisks here did a whole bunch of work. And they finally meet up. This is a huge army supply for TopHatMan. He's going up against pretty much a half army supply. There's really not a lot of anti-air here. If the Ravagers and Roaches do a decent job with the Marines, those Mutalisks are going to do a whole bunch of work. He is splitting his army, so there is a ground force coming in. He's leaving the Mutalisks back. Let's see if he pushes in. He does push in to the outside on top of the ramp. He's going to take out these siege tanks, and looks like it's going to be another GG really quickly. TopHatMan doing an excellent job with this micro, splitting up his army into 2 different locations and taking out very selectively the units of the Terran player. Just doing a really good job. If he takes out these medevacs, it's going to probably be GG. This is not enough Marines to take out the rest of this. It's going to magic box over top of these Marines and take them out. Marines do stack up fairly well against Mutalisks, but not that well. Ooh, TopHatMan just remaxed his army. He's going up to 74. And ZachThRipper calls GG. TopHatMan takes game 2.